Hi everybody, Craig here. Welcome to episode 10 of my 1 versus 3 versus 3 Age of Wonders 3 playthrough series. In this series, I'm playing against two separate teams of 3 Emperor AI per team, and I'm playing as the Halfling Dreadnought, Welby the Tinkerer. In our last episode, we rallied our forces to try to reclaim the city of Fahas from the undead. Again, a couple episodes back, this city unfortunately was taken from us by some pesky undead here. You can see being led by a bone dragon of all things. And we've actually rallied our Theocrats to basically come and take on the undead and try to reclaim Fahas. And thankfully, we've actually been able to start recruiting some really powerful units. So we've got ourselves a Draconian Flyer and an Ogre in this stack. And then in our other stack, we actually did split off our two Theocrats. They're each leading their own army now. Pimpton is now leading a stack with a Draconian Flyer, a Naga Slither, and a few other units. So we've actually got a decent army kind of in the works here, and the capability to continue expanding. So we're going to try and reclaim Fahas here, that's for sure. We've also been building an army in Bebjun over here. You can see we've got a full stack now. We're making ready in the near future to try and take on this ancient ruin to see if we can clear this out and then maybe start working on some excellent cavalry coming out of here if we're able to build Pillar of the Stylites. We also had some developments in the Shadow Realm last episode. You can see here that we have a brand spanking new vassal city, that being the city of Rakalin here. Quite a decent city with a lot of real estate here, quite large, and a number of upgrades available. And we also got some extra units for the quest that we completed here. You can see a couple of Shadow Elf units, which is going to be helpful. And we're probably in the near future here going to be splitting Welby and Leo off so that they're each leading their own army. But in any case, we still got a lot of things to do, and we haven't encountered any of our opponents yet, but I suspect it's only a matter of time before that becomes a reality. So we're going to dive into this episode, but before we do that, I did just want to give a couple of quick shout-outs to a few individuals who left some excellent comments on the previous episode. The first of those comments comes from Ivan Engel. Ivan pointed out that in the last episode, I was kind of hemming and hawing over what to do with the city here of Asyut. I was trying to decide whether I wanted to do a foundry or if I wanted to do a barracks and go more for the Tigran racial units rather than my Dreadnought class-based units. And Ivan pointed out that I ended up choosing the foundry, and Ivan mentioned that that's probably a good choice. And the reason for that is because many of my Dreadnought upgrades will impact armored units and cavalry units, making them kind of less useful for Tigran racial units, because just as an example, the Tigran Tier 3 unit is an irregular unit rather than a cavalry. And so Ivan kind of pointed out that this actually was a pretty decent choice. So thank you to Ivan, as that does kind of make me feel a little bit better about the choice that I made. The next set of comments comes from Yonsich. Yonsich pointed out that the dragons I encountered in the Shadow Realm, we'll just jump over to them right here. So last time I encountered these dragons here, I've asked them to let me know when they're ready to talk. And basically, Yonsich is mentioning that these would be an excellent vassal. And that would actually be fantastic for me, as it would kind of be more or less kind of a frontier vassal city. And obviously with powerful defenses, as it would have some dragons defending it. So I'm going to probably work towards trying to obtain these dragons as a vassal. I think that's going to be smart there. Yonsich also wanted to remind me to remember to save my Theocrats level up points for Divine Justicars, and that's an excellent reminder, as it's easy to always kind of forget about that. So if we look at our Theocrats, they're both at level 9, and about to level up here is Holly. You can see she's only 4 experience points away, and Pimpton isn't too far behind there. He's at level 9 as well. When they hit level 11, they will both get access to Divine Justicars, which is an upgrade that affects all the units in the stack, and basically gives every unit in the stack Resurgence, meaning that if they die in battle but I win the battle, that unit comes back, which is fantastic. That's a tremendously powerful upgrade. The only caveat is it costs 10 points. So I do need to remember that when they hit level 10, you can see here we've only got 3. When they hit level 10, I need to make sure I have at least 5 points remaining, such that then when I hit level 11, I can buy it instantly. So great reminder there from Yonsich to not go spending crazy with my upgrade points when I hit level 10. Yonsich also pointed out, last episode I noticed that there were a few cities here you can see, just as an example, we've got one right here that we can actually see already. And this looks like it's an elven city. And I think we had some underground as well. Yes, we do. So these ones you can actually click on because they were taken by the undead. What Yancich is pointing out is that what I'm likely seeing here, in these cities instances, it's most likely a situation where these were owned by one of my opponents and then taken by roaming units. So in this case, the independents, the undead. And that's why I can now see them. In the case of this surface city up here, this is probably a situation where a city was actually potentially taken either by one of the other, like the AI teams are fighting amongst themselves, which would be fantastic, as that was one of my hopes for this series, was that the two teams of AI would kind of do battle with each other. Alternatively, it could be a situation where I can't click on it. So what may have happened is that one of the AI lost a city to the roaming units and then reclaimed it, and that's why I can't click on it. In any case, though, that does kind of explain what's going on. And so thank you to Yancich for pointing that out. And then Yancich kind of finally just had a point that once I'm able to kind of start building up my stacks of better units, and of course we're now able to start making tier 3 units. We're about to have the tanks researched here, our flame tanks, and we could probably start working on juggernauts as well fairly soon. Once I'm able to start really churning out these powerful tier 3 and 4 units, I could then try and maybe kind of swoop in and do like a sudden attack on one of the AI opponents. They might be kind of preoccupied with each other, which would give me an opening. So great suggestion there from Yancich. The next set of comments comes from Casper Eklund. Casper pointed out that when I had that Dwarven quest underground, I could have actually used this stack here that I was building up in Bebjun here, and I could have sent them underground through this particular tunnel, and then that would have made them pretty easy to get up to this Dwarven city. And Casper is absolutely correct. I could have done that. The reason that I didn't is actually because I was more interested in keeping this stack here so that I'll be able to clear out this ancient ruin more quickly. And Casper also kind of pointed out that the reward of that quest probably wasn't really worth it anyway. So, you know, basically no harm was really done there. But I did like that Casper pointed out that I did have that option. Casper also pointed out that I had kind of panicked a little bit last episode. I said, oh, geez, one of the AI opponents ended up getting Paragon, meaning that they had produced a tier 4 unit. And I kind of was saying, oh, geez, that's, you know, I'm in real tough. And I obviously am in a tough situation, but Casper kind of wanted to remind me, and this is a good reminder for everybody, that the AI, especially on Emperor difficulty, often gets tier 4 units first. And that I'm actually still very close to having my own. Once I'm done the flame tank, I think the next step there is Juggernaut. So I'm very close to having my own. So there's really nothing to worry about. I don't have to panic just yet. I've still got some flexibility and I've still got options. So again, great points there. And then finally, just a quick shout out to Spencer Judd. He wanted to just thank me for making that chicken last episode. We have the dominating chicken that's on its way to, I think it's on its way to Welby, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there it is. So we produced it in our Throne City using our Arcane Item Forge, and it's on its way to Welby. And I named it the Dominating Chicken, especially for Spencer. So I'm happy to oblige when I get requests like that. In any case, though, big thank you to everybody for the excellent comments and all the wonderful suggestions. As always, I do appreciate it. Now, let's dive in as we've got a lot of things to try to do this episode. Okay, so we're kind of in the middle of our turn here. I don't think we had moved everybody. Yeah, and so we have our Dreadnought, or excuse me, our Warlord stack here with War Master Habby. And Habby and his stack just cleared out this Watchtower. So now I have to kind of decide what do I want to do with them next. Now, I could try and clear out some of these really tough structures, but I think that's going to pose a bit of an issue for me. I think I'd rather actually go for this Shrine to the Scarlet Destroyer. So we'll move on down there and see if we can handle that. Now, the only thing is, okay, my machines are not weak to fire. That's good. Just wanted to double check. All right, so let's do this one. We have to remember, though, that we're going to have Greater Immolation. There it is. Impacting us and making it a little bit more annoying. Okay, so I think what we'll do, we'll send War Master Habby back, and we're going to throw on a last stand on our... probably on one of our party robots here. I think maybe we'll throw it on this one. And then we'll send him right up to deal with what's coming his way. Now, with our Musketeer, I think we're just going to do some big boy damage right there. Fantastic. Ooh, now, we've got a line of sight penalty. There we go. That's a little better. Excellent. And then we can move in and get the kill. Fantastic. Now, as always, our Engineer is going to be a prime target for them to come in and try to do some damage to. So I think we're actually going to move our Engineer over such that we could maybe go in and reload the Musketeer next turn. Oh, and unfortunately our robot got immolated. That's not so good. Ouch, that throw spear did some work there. Ooh, and we lost our Jester. Well, not entirely surprising, I guess. Definitely a bit annoying. Now, let's see. We've got some work still to do. We've got this Sun Guard who needs to die, so I think we'll probably just use our party robot to do that. However, before we do that, we should worry about this Saber-Tooth Chariot, who's fortunately kind of posing a bit of a threat for us at the moment. So I think maybe what we'll do, let's see. Blunderbuss does decent damage, but I think what might be a better choice would actually be to move over. Use our Mystic, or excuse me, we can use our party robot to tie up the Mystic. I think maybe what we'll do instead, though, is move our Engineer over, reload our Musketeer, and then I think if we use a combo of War Master Habby and our Musketeer, we'll be able to really put some hurt on this Chariot. So we'll send our War Master in like this. And the reason I'm doing this is that we have Guard Breaker. So now we've broken the guard. We can step our Musketeer in, do some big damage. Unfortunately, it won't be enough for the kill, but it's at least enough to really seriously put the hurt on the Chariot. Now, with our party robot, we're going to move in and put some hurt on the Mystic, who very likely may use Werepanther next turn here. And then over here we can just continue to block in defense mode there. Okay, now let's see what happens. Okay, there's the Werepanther, as I expected. Okay, fantastic. So we made it through that without too much issue. Now let's see, can we blast? We can blast. That would probably be a wise choice. The other option, of course, is we go back and reload our Musketeers yet again. And you know what? Maybe we'll do that. Yeah, there we go. And now we can do some heavy damage here. We can move on in like this. Do some big damage. Fantastic. You know what? We can even bring this party robot down and throw on a little bit of a heal on War Master there. Then I think what we'll do is we'll bring War Master over and just get the finish. Excellent. So unfortunately, we did lose the Jester, but we got some extra experience with our party robots here. And, of course, War Master Habby is getting a little bit more experience as well. So that's always good. And we're going to have to maybe kind of regroup here just a touch. And so I think we'll head on back to our home base here a little bit. So we'll move back this way. And again, we're going to be producing some additional units as soon as we have this blast furnace built. And that's going to enable us to add some units to this stack. So that actually worked out quite well for us. All right, now let's look at our Theocrats. So they are ready to move. And I think we're going to just head straight in for the Bone Dragon here. Now, the question is, do we need both our units to deal with it? And I think the answer is no. I think the Bone Dragon alone, we should be able to deal with it with Holly and our stack here. But, you know what? It doesn't hurt to be a little bit safe on this one. So I think I will bring both stacks in. I just don't want to really risk anything. Again, this is massively overkill at this point, but you know, I think better safe than sorry kind of applies here a little bit. Alright, so first things first, and one of the main reasons I actually wanted to do this is that I want Pimpton to throw a smite on our Bone Dragon here. Ooh, yeah, big damage there, 40 damage. Excellent, that's exactly what I was after. And then I think I will bestow Iron Heart, perhaps, on the Flyer, I think. There we go. And then, yeah, none of our other units are really in much of a position to really do any buffing or anything like that, so I think I'm just going to kind of hold there. Okay, so they're going to continue to just camp out back there, so we're going to take advantage of that and just throw on another smite here, because why not? Oh, and we got successful again, down to 35, or 35 more damage, down to only 11. So now that Bone Dragon is basically one-shottable with another smite, so that's excellent. Now we can do a Touch of Faith, and we'll throw that on the Ogre. Meanwhile, over here with Pimpton, we've already cast our spell, so let's just hang out for one more turn here. If they don't want to come out to me, that's just fine. I'm going to basically get the kill now with Pimpton here. Ooh, and we don't have enough to throw Smite. That's right. Ollie should, though. So why not? Let's just kill him off, then we don't have to worry at all. Excellent. Okay. So that takes care of that. I know that was maybe a little expensive in the mana department, but I think we're okay there. We've got decent mana income, so not too concerning. So we can just kind of move all of our sort of main melee troops up. Keep our Musketeer kind of in reserve here a little bit. Pimpton, on the other hand, can throw on a Bestow Iron Heart. Alright, excellent. Good opportunity to just get some more experience with my Theocrats as well, via all this buffing that's going on here. Throw a Touch of Faith on our Slither there. Alright, so let's see now how close. I'm kind of tempted to just park one of my units here and kind of let them come at it. Move our Musketeer up. Sun Guard and our other melee units can kind of all move up as well. Alright. There they come. Having Holy Champion sure does make a nice big difference, which is great. You know what? We will throw on a heal there on our flyer because we can. And then we'll move in like this with our Slither. And we can blast these Lost Souls for some big damage, and just like that, we're done. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So again, I probably didn't need to bring Pimpton into the battle, but I am glad I did. And we do have a level up here with Holly, but I am going to basically just save the points at this stage because I want Divine Justicars when we hit level 11. Alright, so now I have to decide what do I do with my Theocrats. So I think we want to raid these lost libraries, that's for sure. We also want to go and get rid of this spawning structure that is causing us grief here. So maybe we divide and conquer a little bit. We could send Pimpton over there to deal with that. Oh yeah, his stack should be able to handle this, especially with his ability to throw all those smites. So I think we will be just fine going over there with Pimpton. And with Holly, on the other hand, I think we will group up and then head on down, and we can actually do this turn. Oh yeah, we can handle this battle for sure. The thing we got to watch out for is this Evangelist who's going to try to convert one of my units. But then we've got a number of apprentice units. I can try to grab one of them. If I can manage to get this Orc Priest with conversion, then I'd have another unit that can throw a curse, which would be awesome, pretty exciting for me as well. Now, they are capable of doing a decent amount of damage, so I do have to be kind of careful. And unfortunately, we had a curse thrown on our flyer there, which is going to not be so fun to deal with. And as I said, we have to watch out for the Evangelist. So I think we'll just kill off the Apprentice probably first. Yeah, let's get the kill there. Fantastic. Alright, so now the question, how do we want to deal with... You can see this Evangelist actually does quite a bit of damage to our Ogres, so probably don't want to just go charging in there with our Ogre. Now, we do have the option here to steal the enchantment from the flyer and end up cursing Holly instead. Because we don't have Dispel, but we could steal it. And then that would allow our flyer to go in a little bit less impeded. I do have to be kind of careful. I mean, I could use the Skewer as a bit of a sacrifice if necessary. Because I don't really care all that much about this unit. They are capable of inflicting quite a bit of damage on me, so I do have to watch out. Now, the big question is, what do I do with Holly? I'm kind of tempted to maybe just heal the ogre a little bit here. Yeah, there we go. So our ogre is now in good shape. I'm not too worried. I'm a little concerned about a conversion attempt on my flyer, though. So maybe I'll back them up just a touch. Fortunately, thanks to their mobility, they can still kind of swoop in if needed. We'll send our skewer up. And we'll leave our ogre where the ogre is, and that's going to allow... I want them to kind of come in closer here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, yeah, so they did exactly what I was expecting them to try, which is go for my flyers. My plan was that they would have to step up to do it, and then they would be in prime range for me to just unleash a barrage to kill them if they were successful. Thankfully, they were not successful, which means I basically have free reign to just do damage to them. Now, of course, they have mind control immunity, so I'm not going to be able to convert them. However, I should now be able to just beat the ever-loving crap out of them here. And I think I might use my flyer to kind of do that a little bit. So we'll turn them around like this. And then we should be able to get the kill with our little adventurer. Fantastic. Okay, now our musketeer, we could either reload or we could go in and do melee. And in terms of who I want to try to convert, probably either the apprentice or the priest. I'm kind of leaning towards the priest at the moment. Or excuse me, the orc priest, I should clarify. Just because of that throw curse ability. Human priest isn't so bad because it does have healing. Although, since we have a Theocrat who has healing, healing and bestow iron heart, I think we're probably okay in the healing department. Let's move in and just see if we can kill the priest. Yeah, very, very, very good. And a nice level up for the ogre. Not so bad. All right, now let's move in like this and see, can we get a nice conversion? 55% chance or 45. Let's try it. See, and here's an opportunity. I actually should have probably used throw curse rather than just trying it outright like that. Now, if I move in with the skewer to get the kill, the priest will probably kill the skewer. I don't think the priest is going to be able to really kill anything else. So I think I'm actually going to retreat my skewer back just so it doesn't get killed. Yeah, there we go. Going after the flyer, which kind of makes sense. Now, Holly has already used convert, which is unfortunate as it didn't work. But we can do a little bit of healing here before the battle is over. So let's go heal our flyer. And then we can use our ogre to step up and get the nice flank shot. Big, big damage there. And then I think what we'll do is we'll use our flyer to move in and get the kill on the priest. And then we can get the melee kill here on the apprentice with our musketeer. Perfect. So unfortunate, and again, I should have used throw curse there on the priest to try to make that easier, but I didn't, and we didn't get success with it. So, however, we are leveling up these units quite a bit. You can see we've got to level up with the flyer, level up with the ogre. Our musketeer is getting stronger. So, ooh, and look at this. We also have Domain of the Sun now. So that's not so bad. Target friendly city and unit station within that city's domain now like tropical and volcanic terrain. Thankfully, we already have a spell that kind of reduces the need for that and kind of makes it sort of redundant, but that's okay. We have Suppressed Nature, I think it's called, from being a Dreadnought. All right, so now what do I do with Holly here? So I could head down this way, clear out the undead, and keep moving and clear out this structure down here. The only problem with that is this is kind of a dead end down here, so I'd be sort of pushing myself into a bit of a corner. Alternatively, I could turn around and start heading north and go for this Lost Library and this Watchtower, which I think might actually be maybe a better choice. So let's do that. Okay, so that takes care of my Theocrats, who are really doing quite well at this point. Let's jump back to the Shadow Realm here. I don't know if we had finished moving. Yeah, so Welby and Leo had already done their thing. And of course, these units here, I'm probably going to use to combine them with Leo and make his own stack. Maybe take one of the Brew Brothers to have some healing. But then I'll need a few more units for Welby. That's where the dominating chicken comes in. So once this arrives, I'll be able to dominate some extra units to kind of reinforce. So in the meantime, maybe I'll just send these units over to go and help defend Ripura just in the meantime until I have a couple more units to be able to truly build up another stack here. Speaking of that, let's think about production here at Ripura. We could now do a Shadow Elf Storm Priest in 2 turns, which this is quite a powerful unit. Has the ability to summon a Lightning Sprite and does quite a bit of elemental damage, which I've been sorely lacking in my stack here with Welby and Leo. We've got not a ton of extra gold here to build something, but if we were going to continue developing the city, I suppose maybe the foundry to get some extra units going, or a barracks to start working on Shadow Elf units. But I think right now, maybe just producing a Storm Priest, not such a bad idea. Over to Bittercrest now. We can now start producing cannons, which is fantastic. But we can also start making additional items. And I think the item that I'm actually going to make next... So we're going to forge an item, and it's going to be an item that allows for the repair of machines. So we're going to do that. We're going to call this... let's pick a nice symbol for it here. I'm going to probably send this one off to my Goblin Warlord, who's going to have a number of... and already does have a number of units in his stack. This kind of looks like a little tinderbox, so we'll call this Repair Kit. And we will forge that. And what that's going to do is it's going to provide the repair machine ability to our Warlord here, Warmaster Habby, who already has a number of machine units in his stack, and we're going to only continue to add them once we have this blast furnace going. So we're going to send that over to him, and then he can better maintain his stack of machines. So I think that's the plan there. So we still have 120 gold left, so let's go over to Bebjun here. I think maybe we'll just make another unit while we're at it. So let's maybe do a golem here. Hang on, let's just think about this. Blast furnace we could have done in 2 turns, and then we could start doing flame tank and cannon. Oh, that's very tempting. That is very, very tempting. We don't have enough mana, though, unfortunately. So maybe I got a little too gung-ho with some of my spell casting there with my Theocrats. But, you know, I'm glad I mitigated any danger there. So we have to wait till our mana pool's up a little more till we're able to afford the Blast Furnace. So on that note, we will just have enough to do another Golem. So I think maybe that's going to be the play here. So in terms of figuring out what to do with this stack, in terms of rating this, we're gonna take the builder out of the stack just for now. We'll re-add him in. We'll add in the golem, and now the question is, do we want also this untouchable? So let's see. We've got a melee kind of tanky unit, Blight Doctor here. We've got a musketeer, so we've got 2 good ranged units, another decent melee unit. Dwarf crossbow for some range damage, and then spy drone to go and blow itself up if we need it to. Remember, we're up against a couple of monster hunters, and I think a berserker and a bard, perhaps. So, you know what? Let's do maybe one more musketeer. We'll do another musketeer. That way we'll have another solid ranged attack. Maybe we could replace the spy drone. And then I think we'll go and commence the siege of this ancient ruin. All right, over to Fahas now. So back in our control, and again, we have full production capability because this city used to belong to us. Now, what do we want to do with this city? Obviously, we don't have much gold or mana at the moment to really do a whole lot with it. So perhaps we just do a unit to maybe defend the city. It's probably not the worst plan. Yeah, let's just do a Predator. And then we've got a City Defender. Now, obviously, we aren't going to be able to cast anything because we're so low on mana. I should have probably kept better track of my mana spending I even said in that battle, oh, whatever, I have plenty of mana, I can spend it as I want. Famous last words, right? Okay. So we're going to end our turn there. And let's see kind of what transpires next. And again, we're going to really try and get rid of this Haunted Boneyard with Pimpton here. Oh, I should note here that Yonsiech also mentioned that this city over here that was kind of unexplored, since it has, as you can see here, a crystal tree, this might actually be a really, really good city to get a hold of. I could start producing machine units out of here, which would be much to my benefit, as this would improve my armored units. Oh, and look at this. Okay, so we finally encountered our opponents, and it looks like one of them is eagerly pressing in towards our territory here. So this is, we've met Colm, Awanes, and Camille here. So we've got a team of 3. We've encountered our first set of opponents. I suppose it was only a matter of time. Now, the question here, it looks like, I guess the big question is, did this unit come out of the Shadow Realm, or did they come down from up here? My sneaking suspicion is that they came down from over here somewhere and ventured in. But they may have actually come from the Shadow Realm. Although you think if they had come from the Shadow Realm, I would have noticed them. So I think probably the most likely... Oh, wow, someone else has become the Prime Good. I think I'm still only slightly good, so I still got a ways to go before I'd get all the way there. Yeah, so this unit has most likely come down from over there. Oh, and look at this. Holly is coming under attack from a Bone Dragon. Now, the question is, where did this dragon come from? Maybe I will have to send Holly down south to figure out what's going on. Alright, well, we're going to have to deal with this Bone Dragon. We don't have any spells to use on it. So I think what we'll do is we will heal up the Ogre. And we will bring our Musketeers over a little bit. Our Skewer may have to be a sacrifice in this particular battle, so we'll just kind of spread ourselves around a little bit here. So I suspect Bone Dragon's going to come up the gut and go for a nice... Oh, nope, didn't do anything. All right. Now, in terms of throwing on a Touch of Faith, I think perhaps I will move over here, throw that on my flyer, move my Musketeer back just a touch, and I'm going to let them come at me here. Okay, there it is. Gas Breath. I maybe shouldn't have grouped up the way I did. Yeah, so this is going to be a pretty challenging battle here for me, I suspect. Now, the thing I need to really make sure is that I do not lose Holly. No matter what else happens, I cannot lose Holly. Okay, and our Skewer is going to be unfortunately killed off, it looks like. So, now, it would be great to go and tie up the Bone Dragon, because obviously that Bone Dragon can really put the hurt on me here. So, let's see, what can our Musketeer do? Our Musketeer can do a tremendous amount of damage. The thing that worries me is these carrion birds with their ability to swoop in behind me and cause me all kinds of unpleasantness. Now, we do have our adventurer here who actually can do a decent amount of damage to these carrion birds if they're able to hit them. We can use sprint to maybe do that. So now with Holly, I could go after the carrion bird here. My only concern is that I don't want the Bone Dragon to be able to just fly over and just obliterate her. So perhaps what we do is... I'm not going to be able to get a flank shot on the Bone Dragon, but I can do quite a bit of damage. Yeah, you know what? Okay, let's... Oh, you know what we could do, though? We could take our Draconian Flyer, swoop around behind. Yeah, this is that's a pretty good idea as well. Yeah, let's do that. We'll swoop in behind, do a flank shot. Unfortunately, we got panicked. That's not good. Do a nice big blast right there. Throw on a sprint. Step up. Ugh, not going to be enough. Now, if we send in our ogre, we could definitely get the finish. The only problem is fearsome couldn't impact us. You know what? I think I really just want to get rid of the bone dragon, so let's try for that. Now, of course, these carrion birds are going to wreak all kinds of havoc on us, so I'm going to retreat Holly back just because I cannot afford to lose her. And then I'm going to let these carrion birds tear me apart here, which is not going to be fun. Yeah, there it is. Ouch. Thankfully, we survived. And our flyer, although scared, we didn't completely lose him. So now we can move back in with Holly here. Can actually do a little bit of flank damage there, which is kind of nice. Alright, so now our skewer can get the kill on the Lost Soul. We step up with our adventurer. We can do actually quite a lot of damage here to the carrion bird. Our ogre can kill that one, no problem. So let's work on this one. Oh, fantastic! And we straight up got the kill. That's amazing. Awesome. Okay. No worries there. That was a little scary, though. Especially our flyer and our skewer are almost dead. Okay, now, my guess is that they might have come from down here, so we may actually... I was saying, oh, we don't want to send Holly down there because it's a dead end, but we may actually have to go down there. That being said, the undead may have come from this tunnel here. That's the other possibility. Oh, and would you look at this? Rise of the Dire Penguins. Ugh, that's going to be annoying to deal with. I think we dealt with this last series. In my Orc Warlord series, we had this happen, and of course, all of my cities ended up getting attacked by roaming armies of penguins, and then we also had the archdruid hero themselves, who you have to kill off the hero to stop the event from continuing. So that means that I'm going to have to worry about defending my cities in the next few turns, which is annoying, that's for sure. Okay, lots of things happen. Let's figure all that out, and then we'll decide what to do next. So, alright, Arundel offers a tribute. Gold or a small army? Well, since the small army is going to be kind of cut off down here, it might be better to just take the gold, honestly. I mean, the troops would be nice, but the gold would be nice, too. You know what? We could probably wait to decide that. Let's kind of see how maybe things are going, and then we can decide. Now, as I said, the Shadow Realm is probably going to be kind of my Alamo. If things get really bad, I'm gonna try to kind of recover and use the Shadow Realm as my fallback point kind of thing. I hope it doesn't come to that, because you can't win this game by turtling, that's for sure. But if I need to kind of recover and regroup, not a bad place to do it, I think. Okay, so we're just using our spy drone to do a little more scouting. We've had a number of join offers. Yargan would like to join us. Probably not too bad. Again, we've done most of the clearing around here, so it should be relatively safe. We don't really have forces in this area at the moment, but I think we could probably do it. But again, maybe we'll wait. We'll wait until we've done everything else. Valak and Arundel both want to join us. We're not going to accept either of them at the moment. So, okay. Hard Thistle now has the Blast Furnace, which is great. We also have the Dreadnought's Foundry and Assyut. That's going to come in handy. We finished Produce Tank. That's big. That's real big. Someone is now the Prime Good. The game we've met. Let's take a look at our opponents here. So, we go to Diplomacy. So we've got ourselves a Halfling Rogue, Camille Moonflower. So she's got Destruction Adept, Destruction Master, and Explorer. We've got Colm the Lucky, who is the stack that we've encountered. And he is a human warlord, and he has Destruction Adept, Destruction Master, and Explorer. So similar to Camille, actually. And then Awanes the Custodian is a High Elf Theocrat, who has Adept of Air, Adept of Water, and Creation Adept. Oh boy. Okay, well, those are our opponents, at least 3 that we're encountering so far. So we can dismiss that. So again, we'll decide on that tribute once we kind of see what else is going on. Let's jump back to the surface here. Alright, first things first, let's clear out these undead with Pimpton here, just so we don't have to worry about them anymore. Now, I have to watch my spell casting as I don't want to use up too much mana here. But I could probably afford one smite for sure. Okay, they are gonna advance on me. I hope I didn't bite off more than I can chew here. That is definitely a possibility. Now, thankfully, I do have Holy Champion, which is going to improve my odds in this battle quite a bit. I think what we'll do with Pimpton is we will retreat him back and then kind of guard him up with units. So we'll probably put him kind of right here. And then just guard him, basically, with our units. So, like this, like this. And, you know, our Naga would also form a really good guard. And then our Irregulars here can go over there. Our Cheetah can move over like this. And now the question is, do I want to buff my units or do I want to cast a spell? So, if we were to cast Smite, got a 49% chance of doing some major damage to the Wraith King. So let's, you know what, let's roll the dice. Let's see what happens. Aye, didn't work out, but we did do some damage, so we're going to make things a little easier. So now the onslaught's going to happen here. Yeah, there's that Whale of Despair. That's not good. Aye, those Tigrans are tanking a lot of that damage. Okay, the Banshee here, we can inflict some serious hurt on it. Probably kill off the Carrion Bird outright with Pimpton, so let's do that. Very, very nice. I think our little adventurers can 1v1 this Carrion Bird real easy, so let's do that. Yeah, there we go. Good for them. The Banshee, let's see. Minimum, we're going to do 6 plus 5. So that's 11 plus 2, 13. So, I mean, unless we get low, we're getting the kill. So let's do it. I think we'll be all right. Yeah, okay, we got it with the Slither. No worries there. Now with our Flyer, I think we can just kind of truck on over here. Basically kill the Wraith King, no problem. And then with our Sun Guard, we should be able to just myrtleize this Carrion Bird, which we did, no problem. Alright, so unfortunately we lost the Tigran Cheetah, but got some experience, and we cleared out, importantly, a structure that was really threatening us. And hey, we got ourselves a nice shield item for our hero. And you know what? A little extra mana. That's not so bad. Let's take that. And we can send this quiver to... Now, what does this do? +2 physical range strength and razor projectiles. I think we'll just give it to Pimpton because he's right here, basically. It's easier to just go to him. So, he also doesn't have a shield item, so let's just grab that with him quick. There we go. And we got to level up with him as well, but obviously we don't want to... Oh, and unfortunately I can't group my stack up because of their movement here, so... I think with Pimpton we'll probably go north with him to try and group up, do some work maybe up north here, clear out some structures, try and make some new friends. And by make new friends, I mean convert some new units. So, yeah, I think we're just gonna do this. And these two can follow once we are able to. Now, with Warmaster Habby here, I definitely want him coming back down to Hard Thistle so that we can start adding in some big boy units. And I think we're going to start maybe with a cannon, and then also we could add a flame tank. But let's do a cannon. That's going to be amazing for him. So we're going to add in a cannon to his stack. We've already got the engineer to reload it, so we'll add in a cannon. And then maybe once we have that, we can try out this battle. Or actually, you know what? If we want to do this battle, the flame tank might be the better choice. Since these units are orcs and they're going to be weak to elemental damage. So you know what? Let's actually redirect there and change that up. Because again, orcs have lower resistance, so that fire damage is going to be effective against them. And again, we have this level up with Pimpton, but I think we're going to hold off because we have the opportunity here to get Divine Justicars next turn. Alright, so that takes care of that. Let's jump over and just see. I don't think we had any other units over here. No, we don't. So, in our throne, we're still working on the item. Now, here's the big issue. We've got this unit coming at us. This is from Colm, who is a human warlord. And he's got King Joseph the Ever-Living here, who's a unique hero. Yeah, and he has Undying, so that's going to make him tough to deal with. And he's undead, so he's kind of a unique hero. Sort of like Dominus in my last playthrough series. Kind of reminds me a little bit of that. But in any case, we're going to have to deal with this stack. And you can see here he's got some powerful tier 2 units in the stack. So, a good thing I was actually building this army. Again, I still might clear out the Ancient Ruin, but now I'm going to have to deal with this guy. So, obviously with the city walls, I'm actually pretty well situated to be able to defend myself. So maybe we'll just do this for now. Alright, so now let's take a look. So we've got melee tank, another melee unit, 3 good ranged units, plus another ranged unit. I think we're in good shape if we wanted to go try out this Ancient Ruin. The only problem is that if we fail and lose some units, our city's going to be vulnerable, and of course this unit's coming in. So, and of course, you know, he's not that far away from our throne, so we may actually have to start kind of rallying troops to our throne city here. Maybe once we have this done, we'll start pumping out cannons and flame tanks from our throne, which is now in a very good position to start doing that. So I think that's going to be the play there. All right, so that takes care kind of the surface. Again, we have to decide what to do with this stack. Do we go for this Ancient Ruin, or do we just continue to guard the city? Yeah, it's kind of a tough call. Let's jump back. Excuse me. Let's jump back underground here. Or, excuse me, to the Shadow Realm. So we've already used our spy drone. Now we have to decide, what do we do with Welby and Leo over here? One thing we could do is go grab some extra knowledge income here from these scrolls down here, scrolls of knowledge. And then we could jump on this road and keep on heading this way if we were really so inclined. Alternatively, we could head back up on the road and go up north. Try and, again, make friends with those dragons, get them to be our vassal. We've got a lot of options. I'm really after, I would like to get some extra knowledge here, so I'm not so upset about doing this. So let's do that. Alright. So obviously we want these wisps gone because they are annoying, to say the least. Let's see. We can send our pony rider in and tie up the apprentice, which would probably be, I think, a fairly wise move. Our farmer can throw a chicken at this wisp. Do some good damage. We can send the brew brother in. Oh, and not quite get the kill. Very close, though. And then perhaps Welby can step up and get the finish here. Yeah, there we go. So then we can charge in and maybe get the kill on the apprentice. Not quite, but very close. Now our brew brother, we're not going to be able to do enough to kill the wisp, I don't think, but we might be able to. Let's see, can Leo maybe get the kill? It's probably not going to get the kill. That's unfortunate. What about if we charge in? Very, very likely to get the kill. Let's do it. Oh, and we got stunned. Well, thankfully, we should survive this. And that was the risk there, and that was a kind of silly risk on my part. Okay, decided to ignore the stunned unit and went in for my brew brother instead. So, I guess no big deal. So in terms of who needs a heal, I guess our pony rider could use one. So let's do that. Brew brother can just heal themselves here. Now our other brew brother can step in and turn them around a little bit. And actually provide an opening here for our farmer to step in and get a flank hit. There we go. And then Leo can move in and get a flanking shot, as can our pony rider here. So I think if we do this, and then step over one more time to build up the charge. Yeah, there we go. That takes care of that battle. Nice. 106 extra knowledge. I'll take that happily. All right. And we did get a level up here with Welby. So we're now level 10. Inflict Immolation was the thing I was considering getting. I don't know what Dreadnoughts get at level 11. I'm not sure if they get something that's really, really powerful or not. I think I'm going to grab the Inflict Immolation, as that's going to be useful when I do get the ability to dominate, because this does provide -1 resistance. So we're going to grab Inflict Immolation there. Very nice. Now, as for this stack, I think we'll just head over this way. Again, we're going to maybe go down this road and see what we find. Okay, so that's the Shadow Realm basically dealt with. Okay, and these units can move on over and just camp out right there. This guy can guard that city now, no problem. Now, with Holly, what do we do? This is the big question. Do we head down here and maybe try to go underground and you know, protect our cities from these undead that seem to be popping up? We haven't been down there to explore at all, so we have no idea what's down there. I mean, we could kill our way there. We could go down here, clear out this Well of Souls, clear out this inn, maybe recruit some units with some gold if we have any extra, and then head over there. That's not a bad idea. But I do kind of want to go north with Holly and go clear out this Lost Library. Although I suppose we could use Pimpton to do that, since he's kind of in the area anyway. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to head down this way. Okay, we now got a slightly better peek at what's down here. I'm almost tempted to send this unit down just to scout for a couple of turns. You know what? I'm going to do that. I was going to have them guard, but I want to see and make sure there's no spawning structure here, because if there is, I'm going to have to deal with it. Alright, let's take on all these Grimbeak Crows here. Of course, we have to watch out. Our Skewer's probably going to not be long for this world, I'm sure. And of course, we need to keep Holly safe in this one, because these units are notorious for their ability to jump in behind you. Let's go for the kill here. Ooh, didn't get it. Now, as for the Grimbeak Crow, we can probably just step up with our Ogre and just let him have it, which I think is going to be the play here. Yeah, there we go. Now, the Ogre is potentially going to get flanked into oblivion, so do have to kind of watch out for that. So let's try and mitigate a little bit of that with my Flyer if I can. Go in for the kill here. Yeah, there we go. Now, as for this Skewer, again, the Skewer is almost certainly going to die. So we'll just throw him like that. I'm not too upset about losing the Skewer, to be perfectly honest. I think with Holly, we'll maybe go over here and just get the finish, just so she's kind of out of harm's way. And then we'll do a little more work there. So I'm expecting the Skewer to get bombarded here. Going after my Flyer, that's alright. He can handle it, he can take the damage, so that's just fine by me. Let's get the kill with my Musketeers, there we go. Now, as for Holly, probably want to... You know what, can we get a convert? I don't think that works on the Grimbeak Crows. No, it doesn't, since they're an animal. Probably want to drop a heal here and get some of our health back, so let's do that. There we go. Now, as for our Adventurer here, we can straight up just get the kill with our Adventurer. Not such a bad idea. And then our Ogre can step up like this. Big flank hit. And that takes care of that. Alright, so now I have to decide, do I want to try and go across the mountains, or do I want to... Oh, we could head down here and try and grab this Eagle Rider, but I think we're going to head across the mountains, go for this inn, and then head down underground. I think that's going to be the game plan. So we'll park our stack there. We're going to just send this stack down just to make sure that there's nothing down here that's threatening us. And then we'll have him come back up and guard the city here of Fahas. Now, as for research options, let's see what we've got. Ooh, boy. Okay, so we've got a lot of... We've got 378 stored up, which is great for us, as that's going to give us some options. So, sidearms. Pistols are added to the loadout of cavalry units. Cavalry units gain the fire pistol ability. That's definitely not bad. The only thing is, we really don't have much in the way of cavalry units that would benefit tremendously from this at the moment. So I think I'm going to pass on that one. Rugged Pioneers would give our builders more movement. Useful, but not, you know, absolutely critical or anything like that. Dispel would be great to get our hands on. Especially since we've got the opponents that know where we are. Casting points, I mean, we're already doing pretty good in that regard. You know, more would be nice, but not essential. I think maybe I'll grab Dispel and then maybe start working on the Juggernaut. I don't think that's such a terrible idea. So we'll do that. And then, yeah, and you know what? We can still do Produce Juggernaut, and it's still going to take 7 turns, so that didn't really change anything for us. Oh, Skin of Oil. Ah, I would kind of like to get Skin of Oil. That's going to make our conversions a lot easier, because it gives a -2 to resistance. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I got to do it. Okay. And you know what? That only added a single extra turn to Produce Juggernaut if we still want to do it. So... Oh, but we have Fireball, too. Jesus, it's just eating away at my my saved-up knowledge here, but... You know, we could... I suppose what we could do is we could do Fireball and Invention here, and then have that extra casting point repository there. You know, and this pairs nicely with Skin of Oil as well. Oh. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And then, yeah, now we'll grab Invention 2. And then we've still got 38, but I think now we'll just start working on Juggernaut. Yeah, I think we're in good shape now. I think that worked out quite well for us. Okay, so we don't really want to do the joint offer here. We're going to ignore that. We're going to ignore Arundel here. I don't think there's a whole lot else we can do at the moment. So obviously we just want to start producing units because we've got the enemy at our doorstep, basically. The other option might be a Filth Pit. Just for some extra defense on the city. Yeah, you know, Filth Pit's actually not terrible. Definitely not bad. Does some damage and also can make them weak to poison, or to blight damage, I should say. Maybe we'll throw on a Filth Pit, just in case he decides to attack us. Now, the big question, do I want to go and attack this Ancient Ruin? I mean, honestly, I probably shouldn't, since I've got enemies on my doorstep. We'll continue to procrastinate it. Let's see. So we've still got our Flame Tank on the way. Just looking at all our production. Fahas, we haven't really started producing anything. You know, maybe a Shrine. Again, we are kind of low on mana. Wouldn't be the most production efficient. So maybe we hold off on that. Over to Assiet here. We can now start producing some... We can produce Tigran Musketeers, Golems, Tigran Engineers. So that's nice. We have the option now to produce some more powerful units if need be. But might be nice to continue developing. And here, again, we can actually do a Shrine in a single turn. That's going to help improve our mana situation a little bit. So let's do that. Back over to Fahas. Now, obviously, gold is becoming an issue. So this is where, from Arundel, I think we're just going to take the gold tribute, as that's going to help us with production capability now. Okay, so now in terms of unit production, we can't really do a whole lot here in Fahas. We do have a barracks, so I mean, we could do the War Hall and start getting some Tier 2 Tigran units. Not a terrible idea. Of course, we can also do the Foundry. City's going to grow in 5 turns. Maybe we do just one more. Yeah, let's do another. another unit just to have one more there. Yeah, geez, I'm still kind of torn on this one. I mean, I think I could probably handle this battle, and we've got full casting points, so now that we have some extra spells, I mean, we could probably handle it. I'm gonna hate myself. I'm gonna hate myself, but I'm gonna try it. This is probably a stupid, stupid idea. And you know what? It's telling me we're closely matched. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, you know what? Let's think about this more logically. So, is it even worth doing at this point? I've already kind of dedicated Bebjun to doing my Dreadnought unit production rather than working on Goblin units. So is it even worth? You know, again, the risk-reward here is probably not in my favor, especially when you consider that I've got units on my doorstep. And, of course, now I've moved them away from the city like an absolute moron. So now if they come in and try to siege the city, I'm in big trouble. So, yeah, that was not a wise choice on my part. What we'll do, though, is we'll try and get at least a little bit closer. Unfortunately, we're not. Yeah, that was really, really stupid on my part. I should not have done that. I think what we're going to do, though, is we're going to summon a spy drone just to have another unit in the city. Because, again, we're almost certainly going to get attacked here, I think. And we're not going to be able to bring these units to bear in the battle, so that was not smart. I think maybe we'll even just add another one. There we go. Okay, so again, stupidity on my part. I didn't really think that one through. Hopefully we don't get attacked. And if we do, I mean, we've got units that we could try and retake the city, but obviously that's going to be a bit of an issue for us. In terms of what to cast next, probably Fire Node or Spy Drone. I'm going to just start doing Spy Drone here. And that's going to do it for our turn. So, you know what? Let's flip the turn over and let's see if my stupidity bites me in the butt here. I really hope it doesn't, but I suspect it might. Again, if he does attack the city, I do have units ready to at least help out. If he does capture it, I'm going to just try and kill as many of the units as I can, and then get myself... Okay, thank goodness, he's running away. Whew. Okay. Or not. I don't really understand why he did that, because now I'm going to send my units in to kill off this unit if it stays by itself. Oh, he tried to disjunct suppress nature. Thankfully, he failed. So obviously, he's got a bone to pick with me. He's going to try and start fighting me, so... I need to be ready for that, as his units can start coming at me here, I'm sure. And it seems like probably kind of from this eastern area of the map, the northeast, it looks like. I'm just really glad my stupidity didn't bite me in the butt. Although I should wait until the turn's over, because maybe something will happen. But these three have already done their turns, so if he was going to attack me, he would have done so already. But yeah, we're 100% going to go and try and clear out these units just because he left them kind of there. Unless he's got some units that I can't see in that stack, which is entirely possible. But I suspect he's left them there, and I can move in and get the kill. So what I'll probably do is take some of my units, move over, and just annihilate this poor little stack here. Okay, lots of things going on. So we've got some more vassal proposals. I forgot about Yargan now offering to join us. I think I am going to accept Yargan. There we go. That's good. Now I can start kind of working on a little bit of Shadow Realm development. We will do a Flamer just to have a city guard. Alright, Domain Invasion at Bebjun. Of course, that's right here. So now, in terms of what units we're going to send over to deal with this, yeah, we can get there with pretty much our main group here, so let's do that. So we'll send this army over. And I guess we might as well send the Prowler over as well. So he's got a Berserker and an Archer. I think between our units we should be able to clear that out without too much issue. Alright, so let's engage the battle. Now, of course, he does have the option to cast some spells in this one, which could be a bit of an issue. But he did not cast any spells, so that's probably good for us. Now, let's see. He does get a charge with these berserkers, so I'm going to have to be careful. I think I'm going to retreat back just a touch. Let him kind of come in a little closer to me. I can even back the golem up just a bit. And I want to kind of entice them in. Okay, there we go. Now we can start ganging up on him. So we can throw a weaken, or we can just do some damage. The weaken is going to do a decent debuff there, but we don't have any other units that do poison damage, so... Or blight damage, I should say. So I think maybe I'll just do the damage itself here. There we go. Now, our crossbowman can move up. Put in some work. And our musketeer can step on up. Do some big damage. And then our golem should be able to get the kill here unless we get two low rolls. There we go. And then our prowler can step up and attack the archer. Ouch. A little bit of extra damage that we took there. Now we can throw the weaken on for some extra experience. We can do a reload for some experience there. And then I think we'll maybe just use our prowler to get the kill, perhaps. Yeah. There we go. Alright, so we've drawn first blood in this game in terms of fighting one of our opponents, and we did it successfully with our little stack here. Of course, we're going to have to keep in mind that he's got other units in the area, so we're going to have to watch out for that. Might even be worth summoning our spy drone here and actually having him go explore what's kind of on this side, so I think maybe we'll do that. Now let's go see what we can see. Oh, and look at this. We got some treasure we could grab. Obviously, we want to know what's coming at us if anything comes at us. Multiculture. So it looks like we actually were the first to have... We're the first player with cities of 5 different races. So that's fantastic. As you can see here, we've got Goblin, Halfling, Draconian, Elder, or Draconian, Tigran, and Shadow Elf. So we've got a pretty good group here. And that actually is fantastic, as now we've got some units that do ranged elemental damage that we can mix in with this stack, and now we can truly, I think, split off these armies and have them be independent. So that worked out very, very well for us. Quite happy about that. Now, I think we've already encountered these dragons. Yes, we have. Now, as for this spy drone, what do I want to do with him? I've kind of already scouted all the way around here. Might be wise to maybe come on back and do some scouting back over here. Because, again, we're still on the hunt for where those roaming units came from. I'm going to think about that one. I think we're going to probably end the episode here. Oh, and look at this. We've got some additional units coming at us, so must be a spawning structure up here somewhere. So we're probably going to have to use War Master Habby to go and deal with that. Very soon going to have a flame tank to add to the mix. We'll move these units over just to join in with Pimpton. And now Pimpton, we're probably going to... Might even just turn around, go for this Watchtower and this Lost Library over here. I think that might be the play for him. Meanwhile, with Holly, we're going across the mountains and we're going to take on these Tigrans that are defending this inn. And then I think we're going to head underground and try and clear out anything threatening our cities. However, we can at least take a look, see what's over here. Okay, so it looks like there's nothing spawning anything down here that I can see. So that Bone Dragon stack must have come from underground here. So that's where we're going to have to go. Meanwhile, this unit's going to move on back to the city here. All right, well, I think this is a great place to end the episode. There's 2 little things I want to do first, though. I want to send off this item, this repair kit. I'm going to send that to War Master Habby. And then the other thing I want to do is we do have a quest available from the outpost of Fry here. Tell me more about the quest. They would like a rebellion quelled in order to get a peace treaty and a draconian raptor. You know, this could be a job for one of our stacks, but I mean, look how far away it is. That's really not all that desirable for me. You know, I'd have to really redirect an army or build one up here or something. I mean, it's doable, but... And, you know, I'm only getting a peace treaty and a tier 2 cavalry. That's really not that exciting. So I think I might hold off on that one, but we'll decide. We'll think about it. So, again, this is where we're going to leave the episode. Again, we've reclaimed Fahas. We've kind of remedied the situation when it comes to the integrity of our empire as it currently stands. We're going to save this one and call it episode 10. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.